Hey guys, welcome to Becoming Different Episode 4. I can't wait to get to these topics. We're going to talk about the California Pro results. We're going to talk about Michael Krizo possibly being a top 7. We're going to talk about the improvements of Hunter Labrada. We're going to talk about what's the point of the Master Olympia. We're going to talk about why I don't even bench anymore. Today, we're going to go through a bunch of topics. I can't wait to get to this video. Let's go, guys. The results of the California Pro were quite shocking. Ross Flanagan had the insane upset, and I didn't even see it coming. I thought he could place in the top 3. My prediction was going to be Antonio first. I had Bisu second, and then I had third place Ross Flanagan, and fourth place Sergio Oliva Jr. That was before when I found out Sergio Oliva actually came to the United States, which was very, very last minute. So let's go through fourth, and then the first. So fourth place was Beef Stew. He still looked incredible. I think he didn't look as good as he looked in New York, but I think that his conditioning was almost to the exact same. But I think what he needs to improve is just more fullness to his upper body. His back looked really good. His legs looked really good. He could have came in a little more conditioned. He definitely was not the most conditioned guy in the lineup, but he was really good. Good showing for him. I'm glad they don't have the qualification points anymore for the IFBB Olympia to qualify. I am very glad they don't have that point system because I just find you need to win to get to Olympia. And so let's go to third place, Sergio Oliva Jr. What do I expect? He's out of his prime. We can all kind of see that he hasn't been himself since the 2018 Olympia. But what I was gonna say is that he came in one day out from Dubai all the way to California, and if you know anything about bodybuilding, you should typically arrive to your destination in the pro leagues a week before. In the amateurs, it really doesn't matter because unless you're not natural. But if you're natural, it doesn't really matter how many. Maybe 3 days should be for natural, but a week out. No, Sergio Oliva Jr. came in one day out, last second, took a flight. He says he's staying in the United States, which is the best move he should be doing. He should not even think about going back to Dubai. Maybe get himself into Texas, Colorado, Denver, Florida. There's a lot of good places to be a bodybuilder, and those are probably 3 of the top. Four is California itself. Those are some good places to be if you want to be a bodybuilder to live. Yeah, so he looked really good. I don't think it was anything like his best version he's ever had. I think he still needed. He was as conditioned as he could have been through a flight and all that, and for that I applaud him because it's very hard to place top 3 in a pro show, and he did it. And I know he had that devastating loss to Sean Clarita a couple years back at that Legion Sports Festival, but I would not hang my head any low about this third place placing. He looked really good. His legs were diced. His legs were absolutely diced from the front. Unbelievable separation. Now let's go to second place, which is Tony O'Byrne, which I was very shocked with. I thought he looked pretty much the exact same as what I saw in New York. He just got out-muscled by Ross Flanagan. I think that's what it came down to. Because Ross also had the conditioning edge over Antonio. Antonio wasn't quite as sharp, but he was pretty much almost the same as he was in New York. And there's not much really you could nitpick about Antonio's physique. It's pretty perfect. It's just really balanced. It's really symmetrical, left to right, up and down. And if he just need to put more size everywhere, so be it, because that's all he needs to do. He could be a top 10 this year. I think I already mentioned it in the last video. And then first place, Ross Flanagan. Man, where do I start? Shock. I didn't see it coming. His conditioning was unbelievable. His glutes and hamstring tie-ins was next to none. Some of the best I've seen in a while in a pro show. Not Olympia, not Arnold. It was really good. His mass was really good. I think the thing he needs to work on right now is balance. I think his upper body is a little lacking to his lower body, and that he needs to put more size in the upper body. His legs were absolutely gnarly. He has the best legs in the show. Everything about his physique was very, very good. I just think that he needs to just have more size in the upper body. Again, great win for him. It is a win for bodybuilding because we always love seeing an underdog go out there and shine. And so he's qualified for Olympia. And where do we see him? I don't know. We got to compare the lineups because, There's still the Toronto Pro next week, which it's Hussam Mustafa versus Ian Valliere for the top two. And I don't know. I don't know who to pick between the two because Hussam Mustafa doesn't have the consistency, but when he's on, he's almost unbeatable from a pro show level. But Ian brings that trademark conditioning. I will say that right now. He brings such good conditioning year in and year out. So I'm going to go Ian for the win. If I'm wrong next weekend, we'll find out. But Ian is going to be my prediction for the Toronto Pro Super Show winner. The next topic we're going to go on is about the Masters Olympia. I don't think it should happen. This is just my opinion. I wouldn't enjoy seeing old ass people be out of their primes bodybuilding, because I feel like once you're not in your prime in bodybuilding, quit. You did all you can achieve. You're at the top of your game, and you're not getting any better. It's okay to quit. Jay Cutler did it when he realized he couldn't do it anymore. Phil Heath basically just done it because he said he was going to quit in 2020. He said in plenty of interviews, "I'm done in 2020." He did it in 2020. He got third. I think he's done to competing in the Olympia. Ryan Coleman did it. Dorian did it. Arnold did it. Like, when you're out of your prime, when you're done, it's okay. Hang your head held high. You did what you did. People remember you for what you did. No problem. Competing when you're past your prime is just pointless. It's pointless. You're putting your body at risk, your health at risk. You have to do something that you haven't done in X amount of time. You have to make sure your blood work is good. You have to make sure everything's okay. You have to make sure you're healthy. And it can be very, very frustrating. It can be so frustrating. And then considering the fact that the prize money is only $229,000 split between 10 divisions. 10 divisions and $229,000. The prize money isn't enough. It's not enough for someone to come out of their prime and go compete. If it was like $500,000, $400,000 like the Olympia, that could be a different story. But it's not the Olympia. It's a Masters Olympia. It's just bodybuilder out of the prime. And then the worst part is that there's not really anybody there that you're looking at as like, wow, I need to go see them. No, they're just unknown bodybuilders or bodybuilders that weren't relevant in their time. Not saying I'm going to be relevant probably in my time. I don't see it. But if I retire as a bodybuilder and I wasn't relevant, I wasn't relevant. But if I did my career and I did what I did, I did what I did. So what I'm going on is that these guys they're not trying to be. They're not well known. They're not. No one's gonna go buy a ticket to go see them. Like, plus it's in Romania. It's not even in the U.S. All these people they gotta travel out of the U.S. for a Masters Olympia. Would you not think having it in the U.S. would market it even better? Would you actually sell tickets? Would you actually, like, I get you could buy a pay-per-view, but I don't think that many people are gonna spend $20 to see bodybuilders out of their prime. Possibly with like loose hanging skin and all that. It's just not it. Like, when I'm at the NPC shows and those 60-year-olds are bodybuilding and they're all in that and they really don't know how to pose. I'm saying these guys are professionals or pros. That's why the Masters Olympia is a little different. I'm saying an NPC aspect, and they do their quarter turns and they don't even know how to do a quarter turn. Like, can you guys? I know it's like, oh my god, you got to encourage them. They're 60 plus. I get it, but it's okay. It's okay. We could always have beach bodies. There's nothing wrong with a beach body. You just don't have to always compete. I only plan to compete till I'm like 31, 32. I want to be done early. I want to be done in about a decade from now and call it a day. I want to hang my health high and say, hey, I won my pro card. I won this show, did this, X, Y, or Z. Won my NPC show, placed here, placed there. Whatever. I want to do what I want to do. And I want to live my own legacy. But I just don't think the Master Olympia is a good idea. Because the prize money is cheap. Health is at risk. Out of country. Traveling. It's just not worth it. And that's just my opinion about it. And I think if the prize money even was more, I don't even think it would draw that many more people. Because the fact that you have to split it between 10 different divisions. Because they're going to want to pay first through fifth. They don't just pay the winner. So imagine you get like fifth place in the women's division. You probably get $1,000. Okay, is $1,000 in a women's division really worth it to come back out of your prime, put yourself through all that just to, get fifth? Like, it's different if you're like coming up in the NPC. I told you, it's different if you're coming up and you're trying to be your best. But if you're out of your prime, you're out of your prime. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's my 2 cents. If we had to see anybody sneak up in this top 7 this year at the Olympia, it's got to be Michael Krizo. And you say, who would he kick out? He could kick out Big Ramy. He could kick out Brandon. And that's probably about it of the 2 that he could possibly kick out, which that was 4th and 5th place last year. Samson already beat Ramy at the Arnold and has put himself over Ramy. And I'm more than sure he could put himself over Brandon. So you had him and you had Andrew Jack, and that could be a top 6. That could be a top 6. Ramy could be 7th. Hunter could be 7th. But yes, Michael Krizo came correct at the top 7. He is the biggest muscle round bellies I've ever seen for a white guy. His just dryness, his striations, his crispiness is gnarly. I've never seen a white guy look like him. He is literally a different species. And he's literally over 6 foot tall. He's not no Nick Walker 5'7", Derek Lunsford 5'5", or even a taller white guy that we consider like Ian Valliere 5'10". No, he's 6 foot plus. He's like 6'1". Maybe, I don't think it's quite 6'2", but he's like 6'1". And he's 300 plus pounds. And just, he's so shredded, he's so conditioned. His obliques, his striatus, everything. It's just some of the best I've ever seen. I just think you need to work on his posing, and that's something he has been practicing. We can see it. So I'm going to call it right now. He will be a top 7 this year at the Olympia. And for everyone wondering, I would never count this man out. He's competing in, I think, 2 weeks of the Prague Pro, and he's going to win it. Flat out. I don't even care who's going to show up there. He's going to win it. So next year's first call out, we're looking like it's going to be Hadi and Derek, right? You got Nick, you have Samson, you have Andrew Jack, and you could have like Michael Krizo or Big Ramy, right? So, where's Brandon? There's Brandon's missing in there, there's Hunter missing, there's Ian missing, there's Rafael Brando missing, Andrew Jack is, I told you, I think he's going to be a first call out guy. Bonac, I see him placing lower and lower. I think it's the end of his career. So there's just a turning of the guard that's happening, and it's showing. It shows. It really is showing right now. There's a different generation coming. And if there's anyone I didn't mention that comes up and gets in this first call out, that top 6, kudos to them. I didn't see him coming. So my official top 6 would probably be like Hadi, Derek, Nick, Samson, Andrew, Michael Krizo. Something like that. Maybe throw in Brandon. Brandon possibly can, come back and get in the top 6. Brandon has unbelievable structure, and his muscle bellies are very good. He needed bigger legs his whole career. But he still won a Mr. Olympia. He's still number 15. You can't take that away from him. He did everything he could as a bodybuilder, and we can held him as a great. He was one of the greats. Not one of the greatest, but he's one of the greats. Some people might not know it, but Hunter Labrada placed 7th last year in the Olympia, and then Andrew Jack placed 8th. So, can Hunter Labrada still stay in the top 7? It's hard. He got a lot of people coming from behind him, and a lot of people ahead of him to try to beat. He's right in that middle where Ian Valliere struggled, and because he struggled this year, he dropped from 7th to 11th. So, what can happen to Hunter? So Hunter improved. He's definitely improved. His gut looks better. His stomach looks better. His back looks bigger. He looks more rounder and fuller because he's eating whole food. He's eating proper food instead of drinking all of his meals. Really good. No problem. Nothing about that. He has an amazing X frame. Arms and legs. It's your X frame. So think of it like an X. Okay. So when you do that, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about X frame. So he has a great X frame. He has a good tall stomach. He has a big back. He just got to be out of his mind condition. That would be the only way he can crack the top 7. I know it sounds crazy. Michael Krizo can beat him. Andrew Jack can beat him. Big Ramy can still beat him. I think Brandon he never beat Brandon. Brandon can beat him. I don't care how. The only people I wouldn't be worrying about if I was Hunter would be like Bonac. I wouldn't think in my head. And that might be it, because Rafael Brandon could come out and beat you. Patrick Johnson could come out. Like, all these people can come in and just blow your head by the water. Have you ever noticed why Antoine Vaillant can never get in, like, the top 10? It's just because people blow him out of the water. There's nothing you can do about it. And, it's unfortunate, but that's what bodybuilding is. The best of the best. And these guys are just getting better and better every year. The year that Hunter placed 4th, we can consider that a weak lineup. Compared to what came out the year after and what's coming out this year. We're in a new golden age of bodybuilding. I don't know what we're going to call this age of bodybuilding, but it's futuristic because we got people we've never seen before. We got a Nick Walker who's just never seen a mutant like him. We've never seen an individual like Nick Walker. We've never seen an individual like Michael Krizo. We've never seen individuals like Andrew Jack, who's 38 years old and starting his bodybuilding career. And he looks phenomenal. He has 4 poses. I can say with my heart that he's the best at in the IFBB. He has the best front double bicep. He has the best front lat spread in the IFBB. He has the best abs and thighs. And he has the best most muscular. He has 4 of the best poses in the IFBB, regardless of what you think of him. Now, he needs to improve his side shots, I agree. He needs to improve those when he poses, and his back could be still use a little more work. But him, Chris, Psycho Lewis and Chris Aceto, have been working too hard. I want you to know that they have been grinding, because that man's physique, he could be a future Mr. Olympia. Andrew Jack is like Ronnie Coleman in 1997-8. Because in 1997, Ronnie Coleman placed 9th, and then he shot up and won the whole show. Andrew Jack can do the same thing. Any given moment, Andrew Jack can beat anybody on this stage. Anybody in the Olympia. I think he can beat Hottie. He can beat Derek. I know he didn't beat them at the Arnold, like he didn't beat Samson and Nick at the Arnold. But just give it time. Andrew Jack can smoke everybody. I'm telling y'all, we're all gonna be smoking the Andrew Jack pack in it pretty soon. I promise. Soon he's gonna be top 3, top 4. And we're going to be like, wow, can you really win it? And then we're going to be like, yes. Because there's going to be a future where Andrew Jack and Samson are going to overshadow Derek and Nick. It's inevitable, but it will happen. If you haven't already seen it, go watch my back video I did with my friend Brian. And I'm actually wearing a shirt right now supporting Brian. Go buy the merch when he drops it. Anyways, that was a really good back workout. We started off with a lot of pull-ups, my bad. We started with pull-ups. I wanted to get one set. I wanted to feel my back activate and get ready. Because I knew I was just going to do a bunch of row movements. Because I wanted to give myself a little warm-up before I actually, went heavy and hard. Because I ended up doing like 3 plates for 15 each side. And that's a hard rowing machine. That's way harder than like a Crunch or a Planet Fitness or like a YMCA type of rowing machine. That rowing machine, especially the grip I used in that video, very, very difficult. Got 15 reps each side. I felt pretty good. Dropped down to like 12 or 15 more reps. I think it was 15 more reps at 2 plates and 25. Then we went to the T-bar rows. That T-bar rows in that fixed position. We have one at Crunch also. It's really, really good. But I'm just going to say right now, that T-bar row was very, very beneficial. I think I got 3 plates for 20. Then we did some heavy dumbbell rows. I did the 100 pounds, the 120 pounds. Those are 2 weights I've never touched in my life. And I got the 120s for 8, so I was very, very happy with it. And then I wanted to do like a dual cable pull down on my lats without doing a lat pull down. So, but I did it on like benching a reverse incline bench, and that was my final exercise. And then I think I got to like 90 pounds, and then I was just doing it for like reps. I didn't really count the reps, but overall that was an amazing back pump I had. I looked kind of nutty in that video. Brian looked pretty good in that video, and it was a really good video. And hoping I'm making more content soon. I think I'm going to do a arm day. I think arm day video. I'm not sure I'm going to do it with or if I'm going to do it by myself, but we will figure it out. So here we got is Vintage Blend. I use this for my joints because obviously working a physical labor job, going to the gym 5-6 days a week, doing cardio 6 days a week, it can be a lot on your body. It is a lot on my body, but I push through it, no problem. I've always have, and that's just who I am. These though is what gets me through it. I take between 2 to 3 before I work out. Maybe I take 1 or 2 before I go to work. It's just different times I can use them, and it helps my back feel better, helps my hips feel better, my knees feel better. Helps me when I do train legs my once or twice a month that I can use full range of motion and go deep into my squats and deep into my, different exercises I do. I recommend using this if you're having any type of joint pain or any pain. It helps. Use code JSINGER, capital J, capital S, and then INGER for 12% off. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching episode 4 of Becoming Different. Stay tuned next week for episode 5. Like, comment,